Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of Doctor Who and Autism Celebrations, which is an anniversary series, kind of celebrating Doctor Who and autism as well. So it could be a really cool conversation today. Today, I'm joined with Jordan, and Jordan's autistic, and we're going to be talking about Doctor Who. So, of course, we are. But yeah, so Jordan, would you mind just doing a little brief introduction of yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Jordan, as you already know. I'm 22. I'm autistic, and I've got dyspraxia as well. And I'm an actor, and I love animals.
You, you love animals. So, do you have a favorite animal?
Dogs, cocker spaniel.
Yeah. You you got a lot of dogs.
So I did have. I used to have two. Sadly, they passed, but I've now got another cocker spaniel called Barney, who's absolutely lovely.
Oh, yeah. I used to have a dog ages ago. But
Yeah,
I do love them. They are like really friendly.
yeah, they are. And I find it easier with dogs than I do humans,
Hmm.
because they're very like sensory kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I'm a bit, just to sit down with them and stroke them, it's quite, for some people anyway, quite calming.
Yeah. Yeah. I completely get that. Like, like with humans, you don't always get on with every single one, but like with dogs, it's more like you say, more sensory.
Definitely.
Yeah. So before we get into Doctor Who, but with your autism, like when, like, do you know when you was diagnosed, like, with it?
So it's been quite a long and very stressful journey, and people that are close to me and people that know me well have always known there's something, and those people have always said, "Oh, you must be autistic." So I've kind of been like, "Okay, yeah, I am," because people just assume that I have because of the way I am in certain things. But I only got actually diagnosed in May,
This year?
yeah, this year.
All
Uh,
right.
and they originally they're going through doctors and just it's mad. And they did say it was going to take about like I don't know, probably 4 years or something.
Yeah.
But then somehow I had a video chat with a special uh, doctor or something, and that must have gone really well because then they sent me a thing and they were like, right, well, we've done some stuff, had some meetings, and you're you what was it? Uh, like a number or something of how high you rank or something, and they said I was over the limit or something like that, over the thing of
Yeah.
uh, like being autistic, and we they we did something like this. We did a Zoom chat. They told me, and I was just kind of well, not shocked because I kind of knew, but it was just like okay, it's actually official. I can actually say it,
Yeah.
and no, I'm not lying anymore. So that was quite cool.
Yeah. Quite a long journey.
Mm.
Um, or we could say short journey as it's only a May this year. Um, but yeah, that is cool. Like with autism, like when I talk about when I got diagnosed, it was a very long time ago. Well, in 2009, I got diagnosed when I was 9. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it is weird. Like some people can take short time, some people can take long time. I think it's better. I always say it's better to get diagnosed maybe around our age. Like
yeah,
it's a good age to get diagnosed actually.
definitely. Because originally they said it could take till I'm like in my 30s or 40s, and I was like, I can't. If I mean, I feel for the people that are a lot older and still don't know. Like
Mm,
it would be horrible if I had to wait till then. I don't, it would be uh, life would be a lot more difficult
yeah,
because with jobs and stuff, you wouldn't be able to say, oh yeah, I'm autistic, so I might need it. But now when you've actually officially got it, it's a lot easier to for different people as well to understand it easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is, and like I think the best time to actually get diagnosed is when you're actually in education. I think because you want to try and get support when you need it. Like if you're diagnosed maybe at 40 or something, like the only reason benefit you would have is to kind of understand maybe yourself a little bit better. It it wouldn't really help. It may like in jobs, but as you say, if you say you're autistic when you're in a job, it can be really hard because people, some, but maybe very rare people may take it a good way, but some will just say bad things about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, even sometimes, not all the time, but when like I go to the doctors or something or the hospital, sometimes I go with mum, sometimes I don't. And then like when they ask questions or they say, okay, how may we help you or stuff like that. And there's sometimes some bits that I just can't answer straight away because it takes a while to kind of process.
Yeah,
And then like sometimes when I'm like, oh yeah, I've got dyspraxia, or oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm autistic, and it's like they kind of just look, and it's like
yeah,
okay, and then and I feel like they don't really care,
mm,
and like to some people that's probably really matter, but sometimes I want them to kind of be like, oh okay, that's that's all right, not just look at you and be like, okay, so and it's like I just feel like not taking as serious as it should be.
yeah. Yeah, I think so, and like like there's lots of people always talking about it now, like especially people who are actually autistic ourselves, including us. So it's good, but I think it just there's all the time stuff needs to be improved. If it's during like work, if it's during like education, there's so much like that needs to be done. But I think we're doing all right at the moment. But yeah, like you say, um, it's just depending like the people that we talk to if they're gonna understand or not.
Yeah, definitely, and that's kind of the reason why I wrote my script, which is done, um, doing my short film, which is for raising awareness for autism,
Okay.
and it is a true story. So just a bit about it. It's about me, the younger me, sort of like 8, 9, when I was in primary, and the unfortunate stuff that happened. Look at kind of the teachers and the way students were, and um, the way I was treated and stuff, which at
Yeah.
the time to me it was normal, and I thought, so I never told my parents or anything. It was all normal to me. And then so that's kind of like in the first chapter, and then the second one, it's which I'll be playing myself, is I'm older but I'm in college,
Mm.
and similar things happen in college that like happened in school, but because I'm older, when people get a chance to watch it when it's officially out, you'll definitely notice different bits from the bit when I was in primary to the college bit. And I'm just hoping it can help people out there who may feel a bit different and they're not sure why. And hopefully it can help some parents out there as well understand it a bit more. If
Yeah.
like their child comes home and they're kind of, I don't know, they just start, getting angry and just lose it. There might actually be a
Yeah.
reason why they're doing that. So
Yeah.
that's why doing this is so important. And I'm directing it as well, and I've got some special effects as well that I'm working on because I want it to come across so the viewers can actually see what's going on in our mind, sort of thing. So it's not
Yeah.
just like, oh, problem child, he's just being angry for the sake of it. I want them to actually see
Yeah.
what's happening in here and how it's different to other maybe kids' brains.
Yeah. I think that's a really good idea, Jordan, because Like I think it's better doing things like that, right? Like like the shows like on telly that we've seen, like like this year, maybe last year. I think it's better just showing it from personal point of view and like you like you're doing there, because like I think it's better doing it that way because it just gives a better viewpoint of like for the viewers, like you say, and like it shows your story a little bit if people don't really know it yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So with Doctor Who, do you when did you start watching it?
Oh, good now. Uh, oh, wait a minute. It was definitely before David Tennant was Doctor, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like way off. It was I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Christopher Eccleston, was that it?
Yeah, the Ninth Doctor, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think I started watching it when it was hit with him, like when it was like Rose with
Mm.
like the um with the arm
Oh yeah, the episode was actually
mannequin
called Rose, wasn't it? Like I think.
Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mannequin one. That was I think that was the first one I watched, and can't lie, I was quite scared 'cause I was like, oh my god, mannequins, they're actually alive.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah.
And I liked how it was just really interesting, and I was like, well, this is quite adventurous, and I was thinking, Rose, I was like, wow, and the Doctor is someone quite different. I was like, oh, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was scared too. Like after I watched that, if I was going around like because town and there's you see all those dummies in the shops, I'd be look, it might turn and shoot me, but I was alive. But yeah, like at that age, you kind of think that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just trying to what my favorite one with that Doctor, I would have to say was oh, what was it? Slovene one.
Oh yeah, the Slovene.
I'd say that was my favorite one. Don't know why, I just Slovene. I just found them really cool.
Yeah,
A little scary, but I don't know, something about the
yeah.
episode I thought was really cool.
They that was a cool episode. Like, I think Big Ben got smashed and everything. So
That was it, yeah, the Big Ben. That's brilliant.
yeah, that was a good one. I would love to see them return to Doctor Who, the Slovene. Um, it
Mm,
would,
I was
it
actually thinking that.
yeah, because like I'd like to see monsters like you haven't seen in ages, like the
Mm,
Slovene.
mm.
Um, maybe like the Silence.
Oh yeah,
They haven't been in it for a little while.
yeah.
Um, the Bash and Narada.
Oh, yes, that's a good one. I wouldn't
Um,
mind.
yeah.
Oh, can you remember this was with David Tennant. He was played by Peter Kay, the Absorbalo.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that one creep. I think that's the one that scares me and my brother the most, just because he looks so flipping creepy. And can you imagine like that massive green thing running up the road, like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd like to see.
absorbing everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to see something with that again, but like if there's other ones of him,
Yeah,
I think that could be quite interesting. I think they could probably do that. His other family or something, maybe.
yeah. I would like to see that. I would like to see some new monsters as well that we
Yeah,
haven't seen
definitely.
before because we haven't really seen that like for a little while.
No.
But I just add different monsters into it. But it is yeah. Like I started with Ninth Doctor as well. Like do you have a favorite Doctor that you like?
Yeah. You got. Mm, yeah, David Tennant. Yeah, the and Matt Smith. It's a bit of both, but it was David Tennant obviously first,
Yeah,
because it kind of got me interacting as well when I saw him as a Doctor. It kind of was like uh, just kind of one of my role models. Uh,
yeah,
and then Matt Smith was. I thought he was. Um, I look up to him as well, but in a different way because of his journey and stuff. Like he wasn't that well known. He only did like at the National Theatre and different bits, and then
Yeah.
he got the role of like the Doctor. And I remember like going, "Who the hell's this guy?" And everyone was like, "Who's he?" But then he was
Mm.
he just was got into the role, and he was really amazing. And now he's doing so much. So
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
was quite cool as well, giving a
Yeah.
outsider a chance.
Yeah, like I think when you get into Doctor Who, and they usually pick an actor that isn't well known at the time, don't they? Like with David Tennant, like he was only in I think one thing before he was the Doctor, and then like with Matt Smith, and like with Jodie, with Jodie, she was actually in a few things that
Yeah,
we may have recognised, maybe like Broadchurch that she was in. A series
yeah,
called Trust Me that I actually watched just to see what she was like. Um,
yeah,
um, but yeah, like they're not well known. Like Shooty Gatwa, who's going to be the next Doctor along. He's only been
yeah.
in he's been in Sex
Sex education.
Education,
Yeah,
and then he's going to be in the new Barbie film. So it's very they like to keep it an actor that isn't popular.
yeah.
And then
And I,
once they
and I
leave,
quite
they are
like,
popular.
mm, and I quite like that. It's just giving different people opportunities, and it's
Yeah,
quite cool, especially when like you're finding out who the new Doctor is, and you see all these rumors, and it's like, oh God, I hope it's not this person, and then when it gets announced as someone that you didn't even think of. So I was quite shocked when I found out who it was.
yeah, yeah. Because like you didn't like because I've watched Sex Education and I've seen Eric who Shooty plays. I don't think
Yeah.
looking back, it actually would make a really good Doctor. Because you can see
Mm,
like Shooty can be really serious and really funny at the same
yeah.
time. Um, and yeah, I think he will be good. I do hope that he does more than a 3 series though, but um, because since the night, well, since David Tennant, they've only done 3 series each, so it would be nice for him maybe to do a little bit more, but um,
Yeah. I
um,
mean,
yeah,
I think he will. I mean, well, same as you. I hope he does. I guess it just depends on how he feels and stuff, and
mm,
also there's that thing of who is going to be after him, sort of thing. There's that as well. It's kind of like, you know,
yeah,
um,
definitely,
and then the girl that used to be on Millie Gibson, I think her name,
yeah,
who was on Corrie, was
yeah,
announced I thought that was quite cool. I
yeah,
quite like the sort of thing they're going for. Kind of reminds me of Rose, quite young.
yeah. It very
Quite like
does remind you of Rose. Actually, like with that, I've never, well, I have watched Coronation Street, but not for ages.
yeah,
Um, like I used to watch it when I was younger. I used to watch all the soaps, like
yeah,
EastEnders, M&L Corrie, and then I just gave up on them because it was just a repetitive pattern where, like, I remember watching one of them and the storyline went on for half a year, and then I was just really disappointed with what the outcome was, so I didn't bother watching it again. Um,
yeah.
but
I get that.
but yeah, and I think she's a good actress. The only downfall I have about her is that I'm older than her. I've never been older than a companion, so uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I felt exactly the same. I was like, what? He's only like 19, I think.
yeah,
Uh,
18, 19, yeah,
18, 19, yeah. But like, so that was a bit like, oh my God, he's younger. But like, at the same time, though, this opportunity, though, is amazing for her. At such a, like, still quite young. I think this is really going to help her.
mm,
So I'm
yeah.
quite looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like.
It's going to be interesting because she might just do a series, she might do more. It's going to be interesting how many they do, like how many companions they want to give Shooty.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm quite intrigued how she's going to come into it as well.
mm,
Um, because like with the first ever episode I saw of it was obviously Rose, and the way they did that where we just saw her sort of thing, and I think that'd be cool if it's not exactly the same as that, but something similar to that. I feel like
yeah.
she could be living somewhere like, or they could do it like a Clara, where it could be from a different time zone or something, maybe,
yeah, because
with her name
that'd be
being
interesting.
Holiday.
Yeah, because I think what will happen is that like we'll see because we're gonna get a Christmas special this year. Um,
Oh, yeah,
um,
that's true.
at last.
Yeah,
um,
at last.
um, but I it's gonna be interesting because it's all dependent what happens in the end of the 60th specials. Like if
Yeah.
Shooty from the trailer, you can see he's gonna be a little bit in it.
Mm.
I think he will be a
Yeah.
little bit in it, but not a lot. Um,
Mm.
we don't know, he might be in it a lot, but I doubt it because this is David Tennant and Catherine Tate's kind of right. They'll be in the majority of it. But it's going to be really interesting how it's all going to be done. What
Mm.
I can see happening is maybe halfway through an episode is like the head of Shooty, like the doctor is like midway through regeneration and Shooty pops up. But that's I think where we're seeing, what the hell was going on here. Where you saying in the trailers that we've seen before.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that could be
that's what I
something like
think.
that. Or it can be like there was, I don't know if you've ever watched Sarah Jane
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
A thing where Matt Smith and like Clyde, they kicked on kind of.
Oh yeah,
I think it could not definitely, but it could possibly be something similar to that. I think that maybe that would work. I think it would be like David and then him, and then it'd be like,
yeah.
what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and perhaps like he could hop out of David or something, like Shooty, so they're looking at each other and they're thinking, what's going on? But I don't think they'll be the only two doctors in the
No,
in the
there's
60th.
been a lot of different things going around, so I'm quite intrigued and very excited to watch the episode. It's
Yeah,
going to be quite a
yeah. I
uh,
It's gonna
were
be
you no were you surprised when Jodie turned into David Tennant?
no, I wasn't actually because like if we think about it from the episode. Like, we think about it from a Shooty Gatwa perspective. Like,
Yeah,
it would be very, like, it would be a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of pressure on any doctor anyway to take the role of the Doctor. It's even more
definitely.
pressure for a new person that we've never seen before on Doctor Who to take the role of the Doctor on the 60th. So
Yeah,
the only things I could have seen about that is Jodie being in the 60th. Um, like like what happened with Matt Smith, like he was in the 60th, and then there was an episode after that he went.
yeah,
So I literally thought because we got the announcement like months in advance that David Tennant is the Doctor, but it didn't say what kind of Doctor he's going to be.
mm,
So I literally said at the start of the episode, at home, who was watching it, I said David Tennant. Was he David Tennant in the end? He's going to be the Doctor again. And I didn't think it was going to be the 14th Doctor. I didn't. That surprised to me. I didn't
mm.
think he was going to be the 14th Doctor. I thought Shoot was going to be the 14th Doctor. But I was wrong. But yeah, I was surprised, but I was very happy that happened. And like for people that watched him since when he was the 10th Doctor, seeing like saying the remarks of like his teeth, um,
Mm. Oh
and
yeah, he definitely looked different.
yeah, he
I think
does.
some of that's to do with like uh, well, from then to like now, how much more technology and stuff with
Yeah,
brightness and cameras. So it reminded, I don't know about you, but it reminded me when he regenerated, sort of thing. And he was kind of like, oh, I know this face, sort of thing. The way it
yeah,
looked, it reminded me a bit of a movie.
yeah,
Had that kind of spirit.
yeah. It was a very good surprise. It's just going to be what I'm very interested in is what is his interior going to change for the 14th Doctor, or do you actually stick with the 30th Doctor's interior of the TARDIS? Um, I'm wondering because like he will get a new sonic screwdriver. Um,
Yeah,
but he'll probably use the 13th Doctor sonic screwdriver for the time being until a new one is maid or something like that. But yeah, like, would you surprise with that then? Like with the Doctor at the end there?
Uh, yes, because I wasn't that sure what to expect. To be honest, I knew something was going to happen.
Mm.
I didn't really know what. So when it did, I was quite like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And at first, I was like, and then after a while, I kind of uh, got okay with the thought of it. And now, like today, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm quite intrigued. And I think the TARDIS is going to have a makeover as well. And I think because like uh, the way Ncuti Gatwa is, I feel like his Doctor is going to be quite bright. So I feel like the TARDIS is going to definitely have some sort of like really. And there was a thing about possibly having I can't remember where I read it. I read it somewhere about having a ramp for wheelchairs.
Oh yeah, so yeah, yeah. Um, uh,
So I think that's quite
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, because Shooty the was having a new costume every episode, but I looked at it, but um,
Yeah,
um, which is actually cool. But if people want to cosplay him out there, you might have to choose one to
yeah,
do. But it is very like I would love it to be purple. I love purple TARDIS.
yeah,
Um, I love it to be purple, but um, I think it's going to be really interesting what happens. Like I think all the older doctors will probably all doctors that are still alive may make a cameo. Um,
yeah,
Matt Smith may. I don't think Peter Capaldi will or Jodie Whittaker. Um,
mm,
I don't think Joe Whittaker will because she's just left.
yeah.
And Peter Capaldi, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he did make a
No, I would.
return. Um, but with Matt Smith, I think he would. Um, I think cameos of companions will, like Martha, for
Rose,
example.
yeah.
Rose, it would make sense for Rose to return.
Well,
Like um,
Rose.
yeah, Rose Tyler. And then you've got Yasmin Finney playing Rose as presumably Dr. Donna's daughter. Um,
Yeah,
so yeah, it would make all sense because unfortunately my prediction is that Donna won't survive um in this. Um, like because it's I don't know, I just don't think she will. Um,
yeah.
because like Wilfred Mott, I'm very excited to see him in the 60th actually.
Oh, yeah. Same here. Definitely
Um,
look to that.
yeah, because of course it was his last appearance in acting, so it's gonna
Rest in
be
peace.
it's gonna be it's gonna be nice to see him in it as
Yeah,
well.
well, I think that's actually what the ramp bit's for. Because on thing I've seen, I think he's actually
Mhm.
yeah. Because I saw David Tennant, like pushing him in the wheelchair, so I think that might be what the ramp's for potentially.
Maybe, yeah, yeah,
And with the Donna thing as well, her calling her daughter Rose, I think that she uh, called her daughter Rose as a, it's like she self-consciously, she sort of had that thing. So I feel like there might be a reason why. I feel like there's something they could do with that, why that's her name.
yeah, yeah. I think I think we may see even flashbacks from series 4, because
Yeah.
this is where it's all leading, isn't it? Like from like we'll probably get a flashback. We'll see the hands again. We'll see the
Mm,
Doctor's hand again. Maybe even a Meta Crisis Doctor,
mm,
because of course, as the Meta Crisis Doctor can get older, so it won't matter that David Tennant is now 15 years older now.
yeah.
So I think it's gonna be awesome. You know,
Mm,
like with that. But it's all about like what's to come because there's like Doctor Who. I've been this excited for a while. You know,
same here.
like with Doctor Who. Like getting all these announcements all the time, which we haven't done in the last 5 6 years. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Um. Like yeah, I think Martha will return purely because it would make sense for her to return.
Yeah. Would be nice to see her back.
Yeah, yeah. Unit, like
I
Uh,
forgot about
supposed to be there could be a unit spin-off as well. So um, it's it's very interesting. Like you all these announcements all the time. Um, Bonnie Lamford has just been announced as well. So she
yeah,
was
looking forward to that.
she was in the group at the end of the last episode, Power of the Doctor. You remember
Yeah,
when Kate said, I want to recruit some of you for work. Um,
uh, I think
and
that's
yeah, and
definitely
Bonnie Lamford was part of that group, so who knows, more of them might come.
very true. I think what I'd like to see, I mean, it probably won't, but it'd be awesome if all the companions sort of met. So like, obviously Martha and Rose have sort of met, but like if they met like with Amy, Amy Pond as well,
Yeah,
I think that could be quite interesting. I don't think they met anyway. Although
no,
they're cool.
yeah, I think it would be nice for the Doctors not to just come back on their own, to come back with a companion or something. That'd be cool. Um, it's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see, what happens. Um, it's going to be interesting how they air them as well. If it's going to be 3 hours or like daily, or is it going to be weekly, leading into December? Because the 60th is only
Yeah,
1 day, isn't it? So, it's going to be interesting to see when all these air.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because um, yeah. Do you like what? It's gonna be interesting with like the monsters, the everything.
Mm.
Really. It's crazy how long Doctor Who's been around, but it's good that we'll hopefully be getting more stuff now. Like starting from later this year.
Mm. I'm hoping so, yeah, because it has been a while. Like you said, that I've been excited. I think it's been a while since anyone really has been quite excited about Doctor Who. People that haven't even really watched it, but kind of know about it because they've watched like Sex Education and like, oh, sure, you get one, and then it brings in more, like the girl as well from Corey, and people could be like, oh yeah, and bring in more new.
Yeah.
I feel like there'd be a lot of new people, like newer Doctor Who fans potentially as
Yeah.
well. So I think that's quite good as well.
Yeah, and I think with David Tennant returning, I think that's also to get more
Mm.
people to watch it because um like the ratings have really dropped like the last couple of years. Uh,
Yes, definitely.
and it's good that we're like he's back. I met him a couple of weeks ago, David Tennant, and we was um and had a picture of him and everything. So I asked him. Um, which was quite funny because I ended up I think my source ended up on the Radio Times page because
Oh,
I asked them like well how could you describe what's the situation going to be it's going to be exciting, and then he said he thinks it's going to be unexpected, and he says people don't really know what's coming, and then people do know what's coming, right, what we already know.
mm.
So, from me saying that, those like wordings ended up on a Radio Time page somehow. So it was
Oh, yeah.
it's very interesting talking to him,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
it it was really fun. So yeah, like there's gonna be lots that we don't expect.
Mm.
Um, like we could have guesses. Like their own. Like I always say, they only announce the stuff they need us to know, or we have to know because people will see them out and about.
Yeah, definitely. There's already pictures everywhere and different stuff, and so,
Yeah. But that
but
that was it.
but I feel like there definitely will be some little Easter eggs, so to speak, in there.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be interesting
Mm.
to see what happens and when it happens and how it happens. But like with Doctor Who and autism, I think there are very good connections there. Um,
Mm.
because like we could say Doctor Who is a hyperfixation. Like with
Yeah.
autism, we like to we like to like stuff, certain stuff maybe. So Doctor
Definitely.
Who being one of them. And I always say that sensory stuff in Doctor Who is like maybe the Doctor playing with the TARDIS,
Mm.
clicking the buttons, and everything like that. Like a Doctor that springs to mind would probably be Matt Smith's Doctor. I always say Matt Smith's Doctor because it's very real. Like he's like a kid, isn't he? The 11th Doctor. Really. So yeah. So I would say that is the like that's how a lot of people, why a lot of us really like it, because like it's really fun and sensory as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people who are autistic like Doctor Who, so
Very true.
yeah,
Very true.
yeah. So that is the reason why I started to do this series again. 'Cause I did some similar one last year. Thought I'd do this
Hmm.
one for 60th this year. So last couple of things before we go, Jordan. Do you have a favourite quote that you relate to in Doctor Who, or you just have a favourite quote?
Yeah, while I was talking, I was trying to think of it as well. Now I might say it wrong, but it was when David Tennant's first one with the Prime Minister, and he said to her, or he said to the bloke, "Don't you think she looks tired?" And I remember watching that, and it literally took me years to figure out what he was saying when he said like 5 words or something like that. And then when he walked off, and she was like, "What?" And then on the TV, she looked really tired, and that took me ages to work out what he was getting at and
Yeah,
why he said it, or well, I still don't quite know why he said it or what the effect of that was. Um,
yeah. I
yeah, I think that one.
Yeah, yeah. I like that one too because it is quite funny. And then she resigned, I think, following day or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, that that was a really good one. But thanks, Jordan. It's been great talking to you about Doctor Who and autism.
you too. You too.
And to anyone watching, listening, we hope you've enjoyed it as well. Us talking about Doctor Who and autism. And seeing you in the next episode of these episodes in August. But yeah, thanks, Jordan. Have a nice day. It's really nice weather today.
Yeah, a
um,
bit too hot for me. But yeah,
yeah, it's too hot. Yeah, but thanks, Jordan, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day.
you too.